It's been a while since we've had a really significant storm surge event in this area, but there are a lot of people and a lot of structures that are extraordinarily vulnerable to storm surge that have never been through it.
This Hurricane Hunter plane will fly 6 to 12-hour missions into the center of tropical cyclones. Today, it's parked at TIA for an awareness tour. People had the chance to go inside and be reminded how critical it is to prepare for the start of the hurricane season, June 1st.
This P3 turboprop gathers weather data that will keep you safe during the storm. More data means a better forecast.
This saves money by shrinking the size of the hurricane warnings, which cost about $1 million a mile. Forecasting storm surge inundation is tricky, but these P3 NOAA planes lower the uncertainty.
One of the most important components of predicting storm surge is an accurate understanding of the size of the hurricane. Most people think intensity, but intensity is not always as important as the size. Without these aircraft, we just wouldn't have a good handle on the size.
The first time this season, you'll be able to read a map that shows how high the water will get above ground from a threatening storm. Inundation maps like this are only possible with measurements sampled from the sky.
So one of the most important things you can do now is actually go to one of those evacuation maps and know your zone, because when it's time to evacuate, you want to make preparations ahead. Call your friends that might not be in that evacuation zone. It's much better to hang out with your friends and ride out a storm as opposed to being stuck in a shelter. And good news is that tropics are pretty quiet. You can see how the clouds are moving quickly to this direction, to the northeast. These are the upper level winds, and whenever you see this type of pattern with clouds moving from the southwest to the northeast, that's an indication of shear in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and it's this type of pattern which would shut down the hurricane season. Clouds which would move in unison from the east to the west, well, that's usually something to watch, because usually you can get those tropical waves which develop.